Hello and welcome to game 139 of the PlayStation Instrumentality Project, Galaxian 3. Galaxian 3 is, interestingly enough, a predecessor to a game that we have already played in the PlayStation Instrumentality Project. Of course, Galaxian 3 is the PlayStation 1 port of an arcade game, which I think the first version comes to exist in 1990, and then later versions were made in like 92 and 93. And then here we have the PlayStation 1 version, which of course is the version that we're going to play. This was released in JP and PAL regions, but not in North America. I'm not quite sure why. It's Namco, interestingly, has released a number of games as JP and PAL games. Some of their sports games were like this. You know, you might remember that Namco soccer game, Prime Goal or something. That was an example. There is a Namco tennis game that I think we're going to play somewhat soon. Or maybe already played and I just put it out of my mind. Smash Court? Isn't there a game called Smash Court? I'm going crazy. Anyway, Namco does this a bunch. I don't know why. I don't know. You know, it's not like we're dealing with like 2D platformers. Everyone loves to talk about how. Yes, that is right. Galaxian 3, the original version of Galaxian 3 has a player count of 28. It is more or less frankly, it's basically a theme park attraction is really what it is. More so than honestly being an arcade game. It's really a theme park attraction at that scale. And that's where it was deployed. It was deployed at theme parks. I have no experience with this game. I'm going to keep the history section mostly kind of focused on kind of the PS1 version. We will go through the Wikipedia article for Galaxian 3, which will get into some of the, which obviously is focused more on the arcade game than on the PS1 version. And then after that, we'll see what we can pick up about the PS1 version. But yeah, that is, it's a rail shooter, folks. There's probably going to be video footage. I will mention, of course, that we will have, I do have the mouse adapter in, so I will be playing on my busted mouse. That is the only one I could find that works with the adapter. I have another mouse that isn't busted, but it won't. The mouse compatibility for the PS1 mouse adapter that I have is mysterious, so it is what it is. Yeah, Galaxian 3 is, it's very interesting historically. It will probably not be, a must play for PlayStation owners, but it's kind of cool that we have a version. It's kind of cool that we have a version of it, even though I don't really, it's cool that we have like Super Mario Brothers. All right. Anyway, let's go. Let me let's get it. Let's talk about video games. I love talking about video games. Yeah, authentic. That's right. Corsair sold those busted PS1 mice. That's exactly how that works. We are playing Galaxian 3. That's a rail shooter. It was a Namco game. Oops, all Namco. And it actually does have multi-tap support as well. So if you had it does have controller support, but I want to believe that someone somewhere played Galaxian with a multi-tap and four PS1 mice. I want to believe that happened. I think that would be very funny. It probably didn't happen, but wishful thinking on my part. Our objective is going to be to beat the game. We'll see how that goes. It's been a rough few days. I kind of bailed on Shell Shock. I was like, you know what? I don't need this. So we'll see what happens. Let's talk about Galaxian 3. As people have already mentioned, this was more or less a theme park attraction. It was originally put at an expo in 1990 and then later released to, select locations in 92. Now, one thing we should do is put it in a little bit of context in terms of what is the video game series. Galaxian 3 is, in fact, conceived to be a part of the Galaxian series. I should note, we have not actually played Galaxian on stream. You might say, wait a second, PMC, are you sure you didn't play it in a Namco museum game? Aha! As it turns out, Galaxian only shows up in Namco Museum Volume 3, which we have not played yet. That's PIP 161. More on Galaxian in the future. Anyway, back to Galaxian. They're all, I mean, so the Galaxian series, you know, starts with Galaxian. I guess Galaga? Is it really a series? Ga Plus? Galaga 88? That's the Nazi Galaga. No, I'm kidding. That's the year. And then a Galaxian 3. There was a sequel to Galaxian 3 that was a conversion kit for the arcade version called Attack of the Zolgear. This does not have a home console port. This is purely arcade. So this one is only Galaxian 3 had the home console port. So this is also worth mentioning because like when I went to check SRC if there were any Galaxian speedruns, I assume Attack of the Zolgar is also an FMV rail shooter. Yeah, I think that's probably right. You can see that all the Galaxian series games are the older ones. You know, Galaxian, the NES versions, Ga Plus, the Namco Museum version, etc., etc. So, Galaxian 3 does not have a speedrun, which I'm not surprised. So, and when this first came out, it was, you know, it was considered very technologically impressive. It was 1990 or 92. And you know, you have these big videos of 3D CG renders, and you know, I booted it up just to test it, and I could see how like if something like that in 90s, pretty impressive, and it's also like technically impressive because not only does it have, you know, all this video footage and the rail shooter gameplay, but it also has a lot of other things going on as well. Move the wondering. Yeah, so apparently the thing actually was in the Namco operated the machines up until 2000. So they had a pretty good long life. I guess they were popular enough. I don't know how they make the decisions about what stays open, but oh yeah, I mean this is really ahead of the curve. You're talking about a 1990 release, right? Like that is ahead. They're on their way ahead of the game, as it were. And it's also worth mentioning that because of like how unusual the format is, you know, a theme park attraction for 28, and there's also a later version you'll see that is a version for 16 people, and you know, those devices are kind of hard to keep around. You know, most of the stories of those devices ends up with, you know, they were dismantled and scrapped, and, you know, sold for parts or whatever. But yeah, as I mentioned before, theme park attraction initially had 28. The PlayStation version has 4. As a multi-tap, I noted that when we began. So in terms of like the development history, it seems like from what I could gather from reading the article here, Namco basically wanted something really impressive that couldn't be copied by rivals. Goal of the project was to create the greatest game in the world and make an arcade game so massive that other companies couldn't imitate it. Oh yeah, and also like the size of the unit. Because yeah, here we go. See, the game was housed in a large circular room with massive curved fiberglass projector screens surrounding it. Players were seated in a large cylindrical device placed in the center of the room, powered by hydraulics and moving around as the game progressed. So that's, you know, that's pretty big. That is, that's some wild stuff. Like, hydraulics for 28 is a lot. Not messing around there. Now, the initial release was at this Expo 90, and that was the 28-player version. And then a year later, Namco produced a smaller 16-player version for amusement centers worldwide. And so this is, I believe this 16-player version is the one that was much more common. And it was only the original Galaxian 3 from the Expo that ended up at the theme park and was a 20. Oh no, there was a second 20-player in 1993. Okay, so there were 2 of them. Yeah. Yeah, they did sort of throw someone under the bus there. Where was that? There's definitely some stuff. Some people got bodied there. You know, so it goes. And then there was another smaller version for arcades, decreasing the player count to 6, and this was the version that made it to North America. It wasn't until the 6-player version was made that there were any arcade systems doing Galaxian 3 in North America. And then eventually we get to the part that we care about. There were unreleased ports for the 3DO and the Virtual Boy. And then finally Namco published a home conversion for PlayStation in Japan and Europe. So this part here in the Wikipedia article, I have not been able to confirm separately that it says it includes a bonus game called The Rising of Gorb, which has a new storyline and levels as well. I mean, well, I could confirm this, but I don't know if I want to. Yeah, I mean, probably no one should play the Virtual Boy as originally released. Apparently there's a cool way to play Virtual Boy games nowadays where someone made a 3DS emulator. That is to say, a Virtual Boy emulator that runs on the 3DS and that does the 3D. Which I would be curious how that is. That seems like maybe the best way to play Virtual Boy with 3D. I don't know the name of the emulator. Yeah, I mean, does Citra... Well, Citra, I think, is the emulator that runs 3DS games on PCs, isn't it? Or does it have a version that runs on 3DS? No. I'm saying an emulator that runs on the 3DS, like a physical... like, on the 3DS, and then emulates Virtual Boy. You know what I'm saying? No PC involved. I'll have to go check what it is. Anyway. That's honestly, I've been getting into the world of emulation of games where you like most of us think of emulation as playing a console game on PC, but people write emulators of consoles for other consoles. Like right now, I'm playing Metroid Zero Mission on my 3DS. Which that's just cool. That's just really neat. Technology is neat. Anyway. So, there was one thing that I wanted to make sure I brought attention to. Where was it? Oh yeah, here we go. No, wait, was it? Okay, yeah. So one thing that's interesting, and I'm highlighting this in the legacy section now, but the single-player prototype, there was a single-player version of Galaxian 3, and this ultimately became the basis for Starblade, which some of y'all might remember as like a very early PS1 game. Project Starblade was another Namco-developed, published arcade FMV rail shooter that had a PS1 port. So it's kind of funny because in effect, Starblade was a successor to Galaxian in some ways. And so we are now sort of going back in time and playing the thing that, led to the creation of Starblade. But yes, so and I already mentioned before, Namco published a sequel to Galaxian 3 called Attack of the Zolgear. All right. Yeah, okay, so this is where we were talking about this, and then the reception for this, and this was highlighted at the beginning of this article, but Galaxian 3 was, in arcades, very well received. And then the PlayStation version, they thought it was accurate, but I don't think anyone was really that much into FMV rail shooters on the PS1 in 1996. this one bit here is interesting to me because not only it says the game's short length, which would be a criticism of FMV rail shooters, but also that it doesn't even have the remake graphics mode. If you remember, Starblade Alpha had an original graphics mode and a remade graphics mode, and I guess this game won't have that. So, but yeah, so Galaxian 3 considered a very important instance of like a theme park video game. And also, a pretty early FMV rail shooter. You can see here that, people without any citation are saying that, inspiration for titles such as Star Fox and Panzer Dragoon. I could use a cite for that one. Yeah, I mean, Starblade Alpha I didn't think it was really a looker anyway, but, maybe in 1995 and 96, it was more persuasive. But yeah, so that's basically the bit of Galaxian 3. I'm sure there are probably, if you go online, I think you can find footage of people talking about Galaxian 3 machines. There is an operable one. They're operating one in Japan. The Video Game Museum in Japan houses a publicly available Galaxian 3 machine. So if it's something you're curious about, like, by all means, I think the YouTube footage is out there. I'm not going to just show the YouTube footage on here, but I wanted to at least give the context of what the game is and then get into what is the PlayStation version. So, what is the PlayStation version? Well, glad you asked. Again, released in Japan and Europe. It's got mouse support. It's got multi-tap support. All right, so this description is a general description. Unfortunately, the covers here do not only include the digital release. So we do have to go over to our good friends at PSX Data Center to get the proper cover. Again, you can see the cover, on the screen. I assume this is the Galaxian machine. Actually, does it? Forget. Does it have in this gameplay section? Oh, that's right. Though the Dragoon. The name of the ship is the Dragoon. That's why it's Project Dragoon. A massive space vessel created by the United Galaxy Space Force. All right. Anyway, back to the cover. So that's the Dragoon there. Let's check at the back of the box. Oh wait, this is the JP cover. I didn't want that. I wanted this guy. Here we go. What? Oh, fight. Oh my God. I mean, this is really low resolution. Is there a better fight shoulder to shoulder with your friends or a team of computer? All right, this is the resolution here. Yeah, wait, let me see if I can find a better one. Maybe GameFAQs has a better one. No, that one sucks too. I mean, I think it's a combination of low resolution and choice. Team of computer something gunners in an epic battle in deep space. Can you keep your head amongst something maelstrom of attack ships and incoming fire? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I'm sure we found a better resolution. Let me do a quick search. Cataclysmic. Yeah, I was something ismic. I just wasn't sure. There's one other website I can think of that might have the cover at a higher resolution. Man, people who make fake covers, like, I get it. I get that you want to have a uniform library of covers, but also fight me. Fight me. Fight me with your fake covers. I'm not seeing results for the place I usually go. All right, it probably doesn't exist then. Oh well. Anyway. But yes. The JP cover is. Oh, that's right. The Rising of Gorb. I mean, this isn't the JP version. Screenshots honestly look pretty good. My gut feeling is this game might be better looking than Starblade Alpha. All right, let's head over to GameFAQs. We got any questions? No questions. We got any cheats? Debug mode. All right. Place the secret cheat menu. There's all sorts of... This cheat was tested on the PAL version. Okay. Unlimited shield. All right. If we really need it, it's there. Who knows if we'll need it. Reviews. Ho-hum shooter. Below average multiplayer fun. Great. Near niche multiplayer fun. If not limited. What is near niche? Galaxian 3 is a rare game, and it's not likely in this day and age that it will have a vast target audience. If you want to enjoy this game, you're going to have to be a rare collector with some friends who will play it in order to fully appreciate it. Worthy of note are the bad endings. Both missions have an excellently made and almost mind-blowing, perhaps even saddening clip of the Earth being obliterated. They've lost their impact over time. I'm completely numb to the Earth being obliterated now. But at the period, these looked incredible. A lot of FMV features enormous explosions. All right, well, there you go. Good luck tracking down a copy, yeah. Bored. No topics. Yeah, damn. No one wants to write about Galaxian 3. Well, that's free real estate. How long is Galaxian 3? No idea. Good luck. But yeah, that's... I said I was going to focus on the PlayStation version for the Discovery Zone, and honestly, there's not much about the PlayStation version of this one. I really, I was kind of hoping there'd be more, but that's pretty much all I came away with. It is, it sure is. I spent some time trying to find the manual, and I couldn't even find the manual. Yeah, someone left a review, a rating, but they didn't leave a time for completion. So, weird. Weird. Yeah. Anyway, let's go play the game. Got corbed straight. Got hit by the glass nost. Ran into old Gorby. All right. All right. That's enough of that. Using the mouse controls on the X Station menu is the hardest part. All right, there you go. I did it. Mission accomplished. Thank you, Frank Ocean. I forget if there's even much of a video before we start this. Namco. Blue. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Kind of cool logo. I'm gonna see if we get a demo. That seems like a tight loop. I think this might be the opening FMV. Dogmas. このデータを分析した結果、敵軍ウィムズの対惑星兵器キャノンシードの完成がいよいよ近づいていることが判明した。監視衛星はキャノンシードの照準がまさに地球に向けられているという報告を最後破壊されてしまった。もはや一刻の猶予もならない。諸君の任務はガンナーとして連邦宇宙軍最強の重戦闘機 That's the wrong form of its.
ド発射口より内部に侵入し浮遊するスパークビットを全て破壊することにある。地球の命運はまさに諸君らの腕にかかっている。健闘を祈る。
ドラグーン、まもなく発進準備完了。各ランナーは地球戦闘回避についてください。
Okay, so it does go into a demo.
Launch. Take us to the enemy outpost.
Reducing velocity to stabilize. Entering the asteroid belt. Wearing space mines.
All right, I think we can probably go ahead and get into this. So we'll do it. What we'll probably do is we'll probably do it once on normal. If that doesn't work, we'll do it on easy, and then we'll see about cheating. Play recording, interesting. TV mode. TV set to normal mode. What is it? Yeah, you know what? I don't. All right, never mind. The more I know, the less I understand. Well, I don't know how we get the. Maybe we have to beat the game to get Zorb or whatever. Let's go and start it. Once again, playing with a mouse hooked to a USB to PS1 converter. So I'm using the real hardware. Okay, yeah, so it is the same FMV.
先ほどエリダヌス大プシロン星域において我が軍の監視衛星が異常に強力なエネルギーの放出を観測した。このデータを分析した結果、敵軍ウィムズの対惑星兵器キャノンシードの完成がいよいよ近づいていることが判明した。監視衛星はキャノンシードの照準がまさに地球に向けられているという報告を最後破壊されてしまった。もはや一刻の猶予もならない。諸君の任務はランナーとして連邦宇宙軍最強の重戦闘機ドラグーンに乗り込み敵の厳重な防衛網を突破。キャノンシード発射口より内部に侵入し浮遊するスパークビットを全て破壊することにある。地球の命運はまさに諸君らの
I love this stairwell, the green lighting. It's so good.
ドラグーン、まもなく発進準備完了。各ランナーは地球戦闘回避についてください。
I'm gonna count that as live action.
Launch. Take us to
All
the
right,
enemy
we got control.
Reducing velocity to stabilize. Entering the asteroid belt. Wearing space mines.
Yep, it's an FMV rail shooter.
The enemy outpost. Distance 200 meters.
All wings. Attack the outpost.
Yeah, no, it's a Starblade, of course, again, kind of a successor in a way to this. So but I think this is more impressive, at least at first glance.
Located the enemy battleship.
Making a rapid
Probably because of the scale of it, because it was meant originally for like, what, 28 players or something? Kind of hard to see my cursors sometimes against the red background.
At least we damaged it.
Located the enemy's mothership.
This is Dragoon. We're going to break in and destroy it from the inside.
We're going inside? What do you mean you're taking a vehicle underground inside a ship? That's ridiculous.
Now entering the mothership.
Increase power to the shields.
Located the ship's power source.
All wings, take out the power source.
Huh? Oh shit.
Go.
What?
Atmospheric entry.
Uh-oh.
437. Heat shield activated. Converting to low altitude flight.
Take us along the ravine.
Incoming missiles ahead.
Take us down.
It's a lot of missiles. The screen is moving a little fast.
Minimum altitude.
Yeah, they got ground vehicles? Yo, they got like barrels?
1500.
Stay down, and then come up just in front of them. Now,
I have like no sense of when I'm being hit or like what my most important threats are. It's honestly kind of like Starblade in that respect.
Enemy's defense perimeter.
stay low. Attack the cannon. Aim at the head of the cannon.
Telling me, brother. I can kind of see how this is interesting with like a ton of people. A little silly for a single player though.
Visual information and see.
Like, I wonder how I wonder how they scale the game for different numbers of players, or do they?
Entering launch tube. Main gate closing.
We can't make it. Full stop. We'll go in through the side now.
Visual on the duct.
Yeah. Oh, another game that likes to beep at me for having low health. Thank you.
Entering energy chamber. Danger.
Yeah. Okay. You know what?
The Dragoon was destroyed, and with it the Earth. The cannon seed fired without mercy.
Yo, give me. Yo, Earth destroyed. Damn, that's rough, buddy.
We failed. You fought well, but the Earth has been destroyed.
One. Rip the Earth. Yeah, maybe for the better. I want to see how much of a difference playing on a different difficulty makes. We can skip that. We don't need to do that again. I'm now trying to remember like what my rail shooter rankings have been for PS1. I think Nova Storm was my highest ranked rail shooter. It sounds right.
Launch. Take us to
Maybe.
the enemy outpost.
Gonna be curious. It's been a minute since we played one of these.
Entering the asteroid belt. Wearing the space mines. Located the enemy outpost. Distance 200 meters.
All wings, attack the outpost.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that makes sense. That game is pretty good.
Attack the cannons of the enemy battleship.
Yeah, I mean, this is not exactly. Look. No one should be surprised that the arcade game hater is not warm on rail shooters generally.
Now approaching the enemy battleship.
At least we damaged it.
Located the enemy's mothership.
This is Dragoon. We're going to break in and destroy it from the inside.
I wonder how deep in the games people usually got
To the shields.
at the amusement park.
Located the ship's power source.
All wings, take out the power source. Let's go.
All right. Wait. What? Oh. Okay, so it doesn't matter. When he said let's go, I was like, oh, okay, I did it this time. Well, that's what I get.
Atmospheric entry at point 1437. Heat shield activated.
I guess there's also like a competition for score aspect when you play this with multiple people as well.
Take us along the ravine.
Incoming missiles ahead.
Take us down. Keep us at minimum altitude.
Distance to the mountains 1500.
Stay down, and then come up just in front of them. Now! Up! Up!
Now entering the enemy's defense perimeter.
Stay low. Attack the cannon.
Yeah, what's up, Gungu? How's it going? Welcome to the world of Galaxian.
Now clearing the enemy
This section is wild.
visual confirmation of cannon C.
Go in through the launch tube.
Entering launch tube.
Don't stop. We'll go in through the side now.
I guess some of those ships are actually hitting me, yeah. Well, that's right. Just say, we used to be a country, used to have suck doors.
Entering energy chamber.
Oh yeah, they totally are just flying into me.
Target the floating power relays.
I'm working on it, buddy.
Cannon Seed's energy output has increased.
20,
Okay.
15, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
Oh. All right, can we leave? Oh boy.
The energy output has stopped.
Oh,
We've done it.
okay.
Get us out of here. Mission accomplished. We've saved the Earth. Well done, everybody.
Did we destroy another planet in our solar system? Maybe we are? We don't even know why they wanted to destroy us. That's me. I got the most score. Ranked number 1. Put me in, coach. I'll let this play for a second. Maybe the haters had a point. I really got to hand it to the haters. The end. We're gonna get credits. Did anyone make this video game? Kind of feeling like no. Kind of feeling like I should hit the timer here. Yeah, it's okay. All right. Now, is there the bonus game? Well, so Gundam Goku, what this is this is a port of a 1990 first release in 90. There are later versions of it for other but it's a 28 player game in its original format. Kind of an historically interesting game. And so this is like a, you know, made like 6 years later home console port. It's kind of weird, right? It's kind of a unique creature. So it's interesting they even made this game, so to speak. You know, it's definitely because it's meant to be played in an amusement park. You sit down with a bunch of other people, you blast through for 10 minutes. Because I died once actually. My first run was like 7 minutes on normal, and I died, and I changed it to easy, and then I beat the game. So it was really like a 9-minute game, 9-10 minute game. So what's the? Oh, you partner gunner. I could have had Frank. I could have had Frank battle with me. Wow. All right. Sorry, Frank. Is the Zorb thing not in the PAL version? So it wasn't advertised in the back of the bot. Maybe it's not in. Hey, what if it's not in the PAL version? There is footage of Gorb. Okay. Let me just do a quick search. What was it called? It was called what we're talking about here is that apparently this port has a bonus game called The Rising of Gorb. And you know, we thought maybe we'll check it out. All right, I'm just looking at a YouTube video to see if I can figure out how to. This looks like it just boots straight into it. How do I? Gorb for life. It does kind of sound like an over-40 expansion. You're not wrong. I mean, well, you know, hopefully if you bought this, you understood what you were getting. Oh, wait, is it JP only? No, it's not. I mean, I quit on soccer games sooner. It might be JP only. That's really weird. Why would you make a PAL version and cut out the extra game? I mean, I guess because you don't want to do the work, but. Yeah, all right, it must just be in the, all right, well, that's weird. You know, folks, if you're watching this and you're like, no, it's in the PAL version, please yell at me on YouTube or something. Well, on that note, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Chick. Time to go on a voyage. That's right. Thank you, Zero Divide. All right, so that was Galaxian 3. That was indeed a rail shooter. They are who we thought they were. No, soccer games are shorter. It might be the shortest non-soccer game, non-sports game. Did that on 8/30/2025 in 16:16. Let's see here. There were no sewers, no brands. We did not. Oh, there were. Okay, were those were the things scattering around on the canyon floor? Cars. I will let chat decide. They did not announce the title. We did not use cheats. There were human faces in that one FMV footage. First tried on normal, then played on easy, and mission completed. Used the PS1 to USB mouse. I mean, music is pretty good. Music is really good. I think graphically more impressive than Starblade, but real short. Does have co-op, you know, if that's your thing. I'm gonna say yes. We'll War on Cars. All right, so let me go check out. I know Galaxy already told me what I wanted to know. Rail shooters. Yeah, okay. I think this is, to no one's surprise, this is a 2. This is another Namco game, and it's gonna sit Oh, it's gonna sit right above Starblade Alpha. This is not part of a series that we'll be playing on the PS1. And then same thing here. All right. What does that do to fantasy? Oh my god. Dilwingo, Gundam Goku, and IDOC. Official site that mentioned. Oh, this is an official site? Give me the site! Bandai Namco! Alright, whatever. Shoutouts to IDOC, Gundam Goku, and Dilwingo for being in a three-way tie for first. Bunch of people climbing up too. Wee Kids, Purple, Zephyline, Cataclysm, all hanging around there. Cool. All right, let me go ahead and wrap this one. Folks, this has been game... Oh, spooky room. This has been game 139 of the PlayStation Instrumentality Project, Galaxian 3. It was what we thought it was. It's a rail shooter. Old arcade port rail shooter.